being able to forge a career from just purely writing is pie in the sky almost these days. I think more emphasis needs to be placed on transferable skills and how you can use them in other areas.
I'm the kind of person that doesn't really like showing their work to people before it's ready. But with the supervision, it's actually, I am showing work and it's okay. So that's quite a confidence building thing as well.
There's something about the intimacy of writing, the closeness of it to you as a person, that makes the critiquing of it very personalised, or it can seem like that. So it can seem difficult for students to take sometimes, and difficult to give as well. I think the sort of etiquette of feedback and workshopping is something that might take some getting used to for a student.
I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I'm terrible about finishing things. And so having my advisors, they give me, they know this. I was actually upfront with them from the very beginning in our interview. This is something I know about myself, that I will work really hard, but just that last kind of 5% is really hard for me to finish. So they know, they set me certain deadlines. They're, again, just incredibly nurturing and supportive, and that kind of environment aids me to actually want to complete things. The university's been very great. I mean, I had the scholarship, so I wouldn't have been able to do anything without that. I wouldn't have been able to come as an international student.
Creative support is terrifically important, but also research support. So in terms of understanding what your work means in a research context is very valuable. And it's also, it's not the easiest thing for creative artists, creative writers to grasp.
My research has definitely improved. I mean, I've always researched. As a novelist, you do research. You can't help it. But just the rigor of my research, and just kind of really getting into it, because, you know, I'm rather a digital native. So I'm accustomed to just kind of Googling everything, progressing through things quickly, not really intaking on really my intake was fairly superficial. You know, you're looking for certain details or whatnot, and you just kind of breeze through it. The scanning process, that's kind of when you've grown up on the computer and most of your life on the internet. And so now I am just more accustomed to reading deeply, which has always been, it's been a problem for a long time actually. And I think it was just kind of getting worse. So now I've slowed down and become more able to really let the words sink in, and really interact kind of mentally with the text rather than just taking in data, just being a data processor. So definitely that was the major way my research has changed.
I didn't realise that the PhD was such a professional qualification in a sense, and that there was quite a lot of emphasis on the professional side of things and where you're going to go, your professional development. I think I thought of it as, you know, something academic and quite rarefied.
I think there is sometimes a temptation for the PhD student to say, I'm going to complete my book first, and then I'm going to go on and kind of do the contextual stuff. And if that happens, it becomes a kind of a retrospective, really, which is fine in one sense, but it misses a kind of a creative trick, which is the sort of the two-way flow between them. So often, I would say at the very least, keep a writer's journal while you're writing the novel, so that if certain things occur to you, if certain things happen in your reading that then inform your writing, the likelihood is that by the time you've finished it, you're going to forget a lot of that stuff. So it's important to be aware of the processes of going alongside each other rather than just one being a little bit disconnected from the other. I think it's a great sort of symbiotic relationship between the two, really. It's important to maintain that.
I've been out of university for a long time and things have moved on, and I need help with things as basic as referencing and as global as how do you actually design a piece of research so it's the right size.
We meet once a month for workshop. We also meet separately outside of here a lot, socially, where we can talk about these problems. we have various things that aren't just within creative writing, but within the, I don't even know if they're just even within School of Humanities and Cultural Industries. They might be university-wide, where we meet up and talk about research and issues that are coming up within our research. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're university-wide. And they're incredibly important, not just because they're opening up my eyes to other subjects and how they work and I'm finding the subject matter fascinating, which I am, but because it's interesting that the same issues come up in every subject and how they may have tackled them within music or within history does have relevance for me as well. I'd like to meet more practice-led people.
I think you just need to not feel like you're on your own, and you need to feel like you have a reader. And of course my agent, my editor, do that side of it, but it's also really nice to have supervisory meetings where you get the sense that someone's waiting for the work.
The social aspects are a real challenge because most of the students are kind of coming and going here. There isn't that much kind of overlap, social overlap, and especially for PhDs because we don't have classes, so we don't have a lot of opportunities to actually socialize. And generally that's fine because you're involved in your work, but occasionally you're just like, wow, I'm an island.